Ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into the news. Welcome to Pot of the Dead.
Welcome to Pot of the Dead.
That's all I got. We're here now, though. We're running it.
Fucking running it.
Fuck it.
We're here. The camera looks weird. I want to adjust this quickly this time.
Yeah.
Because we don't have. It's a different camera. The camera
Yeah.
that we usually have, we do not currently have. And
Yeah, 'cause someone fucking broke it.
Yeah,
It's
someone
crazy.
broke it.
It's insane.
I didn't break it. He's lying.
Neither did I. To clarify,
No
the
one
camera
broke
is not broken.
It was stolen.
I am slandering.
So.
Was it stolen? It wasn't.
But so we don't have it right now. Don't
Yeah,
know
so
when it's gonna happen. So this might just be the shot for a little bit.
Yeah, for probably the next like 2 or 3
At
pods.
most 2-3 pods. It might just be this pod. We don't know.
Yeah, we're trying to get it sorted out. We hopefully will.
It should happen
have
a lot
new
of
camera
last
soon.
minute. So
Yeah.
as you can see from our thumbnail, which is just a picture of the episode,
Yeah.
hopefully.
We're doing what too?
Doing what to make happy, whatever you want to call it, because
Whatever you interpret it as.
listen, it's up to the viewer.
We left it vague so the viewer could decide
It's up
the
to
meaning.
it's up to the fans.
It's up to you guys out there.
But so we had pretty busy weekends actually.
Yeah.
I got back. I left Saturday morning and got back Monday night.
I left Saturday morning and got back today, Tuesday.
Today is Tuesday.
Tuesday night. Yeah.
You just walked back into the house at
It's like 7.
7, and we're recording this at 8:30.
8:30. Yeah.
So,
Now,
yeah.
now this episode is going to be very minimal zombies talk. However, before we get into the weekend stuff, we do have a bit of zombie stuff. We've got our little question. We're still gonna do that. Okay, man. Ask the question. Let's do our zombies talk.
To the zombies talk, which you have a little bit of. If you're,
Knock
if
it
you're
out.
here for this, cool.
Right at the top of the episode for you.
If you were to have one map from before BO4 remade in a BO4 style way,
I.e., Blood of the Dead, Alpha Omega, TOG, Classified.
yes, what would you have that map be? And kind of like just like a vague idea of what you would have added.
Yeah, so effectively just like a map with some different areas, maybe a different starting point, little expansions and like redoing the graphics and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is something that I have not had any time to think about my answer for, so why don't you go first, Jack?
Shit.
I
haven't either.
I don't know. This one is kind of a tough one. 'Cause a lot of the maps already have been remade, right?
Well, I mean, they've been remade, but they haven't been BO4 remade. They haven't
That's
been.
true.
Here are some new areas.
I don't know. I'm not sure if this is actually what I would want, but just the first thing that comes into my head for some reason is Shang. I'm not sure why that's there, but that's the map that pops in. I'm not sure what you would do to Shang.
I'm trying to off the dome think of the places you'd be able to go. Just do the mines, probably.
Yeah, that could be cool. A little
That'd be cool.
expansion on the mines. Let you go down a little further, find some diamonds maybe, a little digging, little deep slate.
A little deep slate.
It's a little Minecraft reference for all you gamers out there.
Alright.
I don't know. I remember at one point you mentioning that Ascension would be a good map to like have some expansion on, which I think could be a good answer.
Yeah.
Like there are places
Now-
you can go in Ascension.
Now I'll say I'm not going to answer Ascension because I think that we've talked about that before, and I think that I've said Ascension, and I want to find something different.
I will add a little tidbit to the Ascension thing. Ascension was going to be a bigger map.
Yeah.
There was an expanded area where double tap used to be, and that's why it's not on the map.
Forget about that.
Yeah, that's
Because
a little fun fact.
It was
you might
like
not
right
know.
outside of the spawn, right?
I don't know exactly. I think it was off from like where Pack-a-Punch would have been. Or it was like an area across from that or something.
I'm pretty sure. What I recall is that there's some shit right after you open the door next to QR.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
There's like some shit in there. I don't remember exactly what it looks like because I haven't played Ascension in a while.
Yeah, I don't remember where exactly it would be, but they had double tap planned for a different like sector of the map
Now,
that got cut out.
I'm a little stupid and actually didn't know that they were planning to put that there, but I did remember. But that's something that I remembered.
Yeah, that's why double tap isn't on this map. It wasn't like we're gonna mix it
That's
up because
that's crazy they did that. They were just like, we couldn't find a spot for it, so we just took it out.
yeah, I wish they did that more because that's cool. That there's just like that it gives Ascension like a tiny extra bit of personality.
Yeah, because it's the map without double tap.
Which they took away in BO3. Shout out.
What do you mean?
Because the Wonder Fizz is there.
Oh yeah.
I don't like that the Wonder Fizz is on like Noct and stuff.
Yeah, it's cringe.
I don't like that. That's one of the few things about the Chronicles maps that I don't appreciate.
That's why when we've played Noct in the past, we just don't hit the Wonder Fizz.
Yeah, you got because you gotta if you're playing it for fun, you gotta play it like you're playing Noct.
You gotta play like Noct.
But you gotta buy the Locust out of the cabinet and stuff.
Yeah, which
you have to.
Even like even though we know that the Wonder Fizz, what I think is good about zombies is that because you're not in a competitive atmosphere, you can just kind of not use the Wonder Fizz.
Yeah, you can give yourself like those self-imposed challenges.
Which while I'm not gonna go, they should always add the Wonder Fizz because you can just not use it if you want. Because I do agree with the it takes away some personality because
it's there.
Because it's a little more uniform.
Yeah.
Which
like every map on BO3 has the exact same perk layout except for the most of the Chronicles maps don't have Cherry, and then Shadows and the Giant have different loadouts. Yeah. I don't like how like homogenous the perks are in BO3 though.
I agree.
I wish there was a little bit more variety, because then it would give a little interest in like popping a perka or something, or just like the progression of the map.
Yeah.
Imagine a BO3 map without double tap. Like that would just inherently make the map harder, which I think could be fun. I think that would be nice for like a specific map.
Like, as interesting as I think it is that Ascension doesn't have double tap, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, because it's BO1 double tap.
Because it's BO1 double tap, and also like
Stam and PhD, are both there.
Like, so like you'll just use those because they're good at perks and double tap.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I think it'd be more interesting if like all of a sudden you lose what is like one of the better perks in the game.
Yeah. Like I don't think you could have a map and take away Jug. Like that's you can't do that.
You can't do that.
That destroys
you
the
can't
progression.
lose Jug, you can't lose QR.
Yeah. Speed Cola, absolutely.
Speed Cola, you could lose everything else.
Yeah, everything else. And I think they should have done that on BO3. I think that would have made the game a lot more interesting.
Yeah, and then even I said you can have a map that doesn't have QR. I mean, Mom did it.
Yeah, so there are ways to get around it.
They have a different impose system, but it also it makes one of the more personalized maps.
Yeah,
it's also the only map with a cherry machine, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
it is.
Hence why Mob is one of the maps with more personality. Now
this is one of the things. So I'm going to talk about BO4 a little bit here. This is one of the very few things I will give a little bit of credit to BO4 for, in terms of like the perk system. Just like it's a little bit different, obviously, but I like just the variety that you can have in like setting the perk locations yourself. Like, there's a bit of inherent uniqueness just in how you set up the machines and how you play. And then with the amount of perks, if you pop a perkaholic, you don't get all of the perks, which I like, because that gives you, like, an inherent bit of randomness. Like, you can't just guaranteed have the same setup every time, which I think is kind of nice. I like that. I appreciate that. Even if the perks are bad in BO4.
Yeah, I don't feel that way about the machines.
I get that.
The perka thing and the ram shit, I'm with that.
That's like the stronger point, I think, of that.
That's the stronger point you just made. But I'm not with the setting the locations of your own perks.
Yeah, I do think that it gets to a point. If the perks were better balanced, I think it would be better. However, with the way the BO4 perks are, there's like, you're always gonna have Dying Wish, and that's always
it's less interesting because like there's less of a question on what you're gonna do, you know, because something that I think was really cool in, like, example, Black Ops 2 multiplayer.
Okay.
A lot, like, I feel like the Black Ops 2 multiplayer had a good balance in guns.
It did, absolutely.
There was a really good balance, so it was kind of just what you preferred, you know.
Yeah, you could get away with using any gun in that game.
Yeah.
Literally anything.
Anything, and you would be able to roll with it, so that lets everything be on a fairly even playing field.
Something, obviously, you've got the MP7 is like the best SMG.
You have your best guns.
Even then, the MSMC is also really good.
You have your best guns, but
Yeah.
but like, you're always gonna have your best stuff.
Yeah,
But
you want to run a Chris Vector? Go for it, man.
But it's
great.
it's your preference.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why multiplayer works a lot of time, because the guns are fairly well balanced. But
Yeah.
the perks weren't well balanced. You're just running the same ones every time, most of the time.
Yeah.
You ever take like one or two of them. So it just kind of makes it a little bit weird. I'm not with that. Back to the main point. I'm gonna say something.
What you got?
I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to disprove myself.
Say what you're thinking. Say it out loud. We are in a podcast. You're looking. Say it. Just say it. Just say it. Just drop it. Drop your bomb.
SOE.
That's not what I was expecting actually.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a map that I would prefer.
I mean, I do get it. More SOE. I think that would probably hurt the map more than it would help, though.
I'm not saying. Well, I mean, yeah. I think if they did that. They did it to Mob, and it hurt Mob significantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Exactly.
went from a top 2 to like bottom 2.
Top 1.
Top 2. Top 2 can also be top 1.
It's top 1. Why'd that make me flinch a little, man? God damn it.
But I mean, it hurt Mob. But I think that. Okay, never mind. I got it. I figured out.
What do you got?
Preferred. Buried.
Buried. Ooh.
I think Buried's a good shout.
Why buried exactly?
Just 'cause it's a lot of shit. What I'm thinking of off the dome is my first level of thought is like, where are there clear areas that could be opened up?
Yeah.
Right? Because what I think is done poorly in TOG is they just create a new spot that wasn't there before.
Yeah, that's fair.
When in like Alpha Omega, it's like
the layout's a bit different, but it's the bunker.
It's the bunker, right? And then you spawn in like an area that was there.
Yeah, and then you work your way in, and then you're just in Nuketown.
Yeah, so
and it's like it makes sense.
It makes sense from the perspective of you had Nuketown. This is Nuketown, but more.
Yeah, and then I do agree with that. Where TOG, it's just like, hey, there's a facility over here now.
Yeah.
Spawn, I guess the TOG spawn was there. That's like a newish area, and then like some of the routes around there. I don't know. I appreciate the way that TOG like kind of interconnects everything.
Yeah, but
I still TOG over Call of the Dead.
So, but yeah, so I'm trying to think of maps where an extension makes sense.
Yeah.
Right?
So what's your idea with Buried though? Where would you want expanded?
I mean, there's just a bunch of buildings in it.
I mean, sure.
Right? And you can just go into more buildings.
I guess so.
You could also just be like, and then they came back and dug some more.
That's like what you mentioned with the buildings is the only like part of Buried that I did not think about.
That there's buildings in it?
Yeah, like I thought about you've got like the upper area, the like big like the oil rig or whatever, the thing you're on.
You could also use it there.
You could like expand the upper area. That's what I was thinking. If you drop down, you've got like the mines area. Maybe there's more to explore with that.
Yeah,
could have like expanded upon the actual mining part of it.
Is you can very realistically just go, and then they mined some more.
Yeah.
I think while I'm not, I think it's a little bit different to just and then you added a facility.
Yeah.
Like, because like it is a mine, you do go and then you open up more area.
Yeah, so I think that could have been fine. Also, the other area that popped into my head, which is like one of the most interesting places in Buried, is the hedge maze.
The hedge maze is what you thought. I was thinking just the mansion.
I'm not. The mansion too. I get you could have more rooms in the mansion. Maybe give it more of like a purpose in the map. I think that could be fun.
Rather than just
imagine like a Buried mansion survival map.
Could be cool.
That sounds sick.
So my choice is Buried, but the reason I thought Shadow was just because like
more shadows. It's just the underground bit.
Yes, but that isn't what I was talking about.
Ooh,
I'm just going
more shadows in it
because there's buildings in it.
More shadows in it.
Like it's just there's shit you can go into stuff.
Yeah.
But on second thought, I don't think it works as shadows.
Yeah, I think the Shadows is just too big. Even if you add more like fast travels and
I
stuff.
say transit.
I think that depending on how you did it, there is actually a way. Maybe not giving it more areas, but like giving new purpose to areas and like opening them up to make them actually a part of the map instead of just being like fog death.
Yeah.
So I get that would be less like a BO4 style and more like just breathing new life in, like repurposing stuff.
Like a Chronicle style.
Not even like Chronicles, because Chronicles really didn't change anything all that much. It just made stuff look prettier.
Yeah. So what's your addition? What's your vote?
I don't know, man.
You can vote for whatever. I don't mind if you just go Buried's good, or if you just go I think the Ascension idea was good.
Yeah, Ascension is probably the best I got right now. I'm sure if I sat down and looked through all the maps, I could come up with a better answer.
So what I would like it to be, but it just can be.
Yeah.
Could it be?
What? What you got?
I'm gonna throw out something.
Well, you're gonna hit it with like a moon or something.
I'm gonna throw something crazy.
What you got?
You're gonna have to hear me out on it. Because
okay.
I'm pulling some shit. I
might know what you're gonna say.
What do you think I'm gonna say?
I want to hear it first.
No. What does 11 map starts with?
D.
No.
Okay.
Verrucht.
Ooh, actually. Ooh.
Right, because I was thinking about it, and I was like, because it's just woods in it. Doesn't really work. Ooh. But then I thought, God, but if we're not going out, we could go in.
Yep.
So here's how I want you to hear me out. Similar to another map, one that we have perhaps even spoken about on this episode already. You can destroy the fountain, perhaps. Ooh. And perhaps that fountain takes you to said map that fountain gets destroyed on. Not like it's an entire map, but perhaps you spawn in on the oil rig after going through. Does this make sense?
It makes sense. I get what you're saying. That's not what I was thinking about, but that could be fun. It could be because that does sound very BO4 because that's what they did in Classified.
That's what they did in Classified.
They were like, hey, here's the Pack-a-Punch setup for the map, but oh my God, you're in Area 51 now. What?
I think what they could do is that they could just do that. Is where like you break the fountain doing something a little more convoluted than it is in Buried.
Yeah, there's like a full Easter egg to it.
Yeah, and
then I would imagine
then you break it and then you spawn in the oil rig. The oil rig has Pack-a-Punch there for you, and then you can jump back down from where you would go in on Buried to go into the main map. That just takes you back to Verrucht somewhere.
Yeah,
I like that. What were you thinking? Because I wasn't thinking that.
Yeah, you're thinking about that being like a Buried teleport. I was just thinking about the fact that Verrucht seems like a cool map to have more area to move around in.
Yeah.
Like having a bit of that expansion could be fun. Keep the claustrophobic feel, obviously, but just give like more rooms, maybe more opportunity for like perk buys and stuff.
I don't want to just add new rooms.
Well, yeah, but then there would also be like you would be able to get into the middle. I think that could be fun because then you've got like all the ground spawns and stuff. It could be like hectic, but also an open area for training.
Zetsubo vibes.
Yeah, and then for the fountain, what I was thinking is like the old Easter egg where the MG42 is underneath it. Could use that, turn it into like a really good turret trap or something.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Just have it set up so that you can use that, make it like an insta-kill trap.
So yeah, I think that those are cool ideas.
I think that Verrucht would be a really fun one to have that style remake.
Because it's I feel really did Verrucht get is Verrucht in Chronicles?
It is.
Yeah, it is in Chronicles.
How do you not remember that?
I was pretty sure it was
absolute fool.
I was like Verrucht. I feel like does not get love.
It's one of those maps that I feel like probably should have gotten a little more than it did.
Yeah.
Shino got more than it.
Which is nuts.
Shino got more than it. They brought Shino back in Vanguard.
Shino's so bad though. It's crazy.
It's crazy how it's even worse in Vanguard.
It's nuts.
Because it just looks ugly. It's just so dark, man. Like, what
Man,
the hell, man?
God.
Shout out to Vanguard
The
Zombies.
active state of zombies is so bad.
It's rough, man. Yo,
But
shout out to the new Cold War patch. The Vargo 52 is a fucking fun weapon to use, let me tell you.
Haven't used it yet.
I have. That shouldn't surprise you because Cold War gun.
It is. That does not surprise me. What is funny is that they were like, new map.
Lol.
Ugh.
Luckily, not
Later.
the part that I cared about at all.
Yeah.
Also, I don't actually have the Vargo unlocked yet. Which only means one thing.
Did you buy it?
I bought the bundle.
Did you buy the bundle?
Because I wanted to use the Vargo. I was like, you know what? I'm going to unlock the Vargo with the Vargo. And I got the bundle. It's got the best attachment setup for Warzone just on it by default. And also, it's a really sick bundle. Like, it looks fucking cool. The gun breathes. Or I don't know. It's got like a weird like moving shit on it. It's got like animations. It's cool. So yeah, I mess around with it a little bit. I still gotta level it, and then I gotta like, I'm going for dark matter on it, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm probably gonna rock it in Warzone for a bit because it seems really good.
It was fun. All right, well, let's get into these discussions of
Yeah, we spent
make happen.
we actually spent a good bit talking about zombies, which
It's almost like we can talk about zombies for just like a long time.
crazy. We also good question. Shout out to Jack for that one. That was
Hey.
his.
I'm excited that I got a good question. I felt like that was a mid question.
It got a good discussion though.
All right, well now to just our rambling about shit.
How long do you think we've been going for? You want
Half
to
an
take a
hour.
guess?
Half an hour.
That's where
most.
I'm thinking.
Half an hour and most, probably 20 minutes.
Man, we gotta set up a timer or something
Yeah,
when we
we
get the
did,
new
we
camera
did.
because we're not gonna have the natural timer.
Yep. So sick. Here, let me take you on a story. Right. This story starts in, call it, late November of last year.
So let's start the story. So I was born.
The clouds parted. But so, in late November, it was coming around to be my birthday. My birthday's on December 9th. And my parents were like, what are we gonna do? And I was like, how about we go to a Packer game? Because that's what we do.
Uh-huh.
And then they were like, these games don't seem like they're very viable to go to. And I was like, fuck it. Let's go to a playoff game. And then they were like, you want to go to the divisional round game? Because we got a first round bye. And I was like, I don't know. I think we'll probably make the NC championship game. Let's go there. And they said, sounds sick. Fast forward until early January, early to mid-January, I forget when it was. The Packers lose in the division round of the playoffs and do not make it to the game that we had tickets for.
Worst case scenario type beat.
Worst case scenario type beat. So we had to figure out something else out. And then, so then at the very last minute, we ended up going to a wrestling pay-per-view in Orlando called AEW Revolution. Very fun pay-per-view.
Yeah.
People fucking went nuts. It's crazy.
Insane.
There were tax involved. Like a lot of them.
I thought you meant like the taxes you pay. I was like,
Dude, the Florida tax is crazy. It's nuts. I thought they were Republicans. I didn't get it. I was so confused.
dude.
It took half my money on entry. But so it was nuts. But
yeah.
so ends up coming around very last minute. So we end up flying on Saturday, like noon-ish. We leave and we fly to my grandparents' house, who live a couple hours south of Orlando. And we get there, and then we go out to eat at this place.
Okay.
Now, a precursor to this happening, before we leave, my dad going down the stairs. So it's just me and my dad who went to the pay-per-view. My dad is going down the stairs at his house and misses a step and sprains his ankle. not an hour before we leave.
That's really funny.
It's really funny and very unfortunate. So my dad spends the entire weekend just limping, like hard.
That's rough.
Like not always like a hard limp, but he was limping a little bit going into the airport, just kind of going like And then we got off of the airplane. Then he was like dum dum, dum dum. It was rough, and I was making fun of him so much.
Poor man.
This
poor man.
Listen, he raised me that way.
Yeah.
This is his fault.
I almost dropped his .gov.
Jake.
Yeah, I almost dropped the full .gov. I was just like.
I mean, shit, you be dropping my .gov, which everybody knows.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. But so we fly down there. My dad's ankle is sprained. My grandparents pick us up, and they're talking about stuff, and it's my grandparents are a little weird. Not like super weird, but a little bit weird, right? We go to this restaurant. It's like a fish place.
Ugh.
I don't like fish.
Ugh.
Yeah, so we're in Florida, and we are at a restaurant which is like on the water.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like I'm sitting in a seat. If I were to teleport 6 feet back, I am falling into water.
Dope.
I am up against a railing.
That's pretty
Right?
cool.
This is a surprise too that'll help us later. It isn't crazy. It isn't crazy, but it's really funny.
What happened?
So we're sitting there, and then we're chilling, waiting for our server. It takes us like an hour to get in, by the way.
Cool.
It
Yep.
isn't like super packed. It just takes us an hour, which is weird.
Yeah, as you do.
But so we're sitting there, and then a guy comes up, super awkward,
Okay.
and he goes, "Hey, my name is Micah." And we started, and we went, "Oh shit, his name is Micah? That's crazy. He is the most awkward server alive.
More than me?
More than you, more than me at Cracker Barrel. It was nuts." So he's talking to us. He was like, "Well, we usually go ladies first, but we're just going to go around the table." Which is like, why did you say that? Just go around the table. Just go around the table. There's 2 of them. And you're getting to them second and third of 6. What are you fucking doing? Because we're also there with my grandparents' cousins. And he's just so awkward the whole time.
That's pretty sick.
He's like, "Are we on checks? Like, are we gonna go like here, or like you 2 and then you 4?" And we're like, "Yeah, just force 4 and those 2." And he's like, "Okay." And I'm not gonna remember all of it, which sucks. But there was a point where he walked up to us, and or he walked up, had this little tablet up, and was pressing stuff on it. Looks over at us, kind of gives like a. And then kind of turns away, but then looks back and starts pressing more buttons. And he turns away, walks, takes a couple steps, and turns back, and then puts the tablet down in front of him on a table and starts pressing shit on the table and looking back. And then he just walks away. Like he doesn't interact with us at all.
That's fantastic.
But so the funniest thing that happened is, so my grandpa at one point, so it's getting a little dark, and my grandma's cold because she's a tiny, frail old woman.
What a bitch.
And, I know, right? And then my grandpa gets up to go get her, like go buy her a hoodie or some shit.
I'm sorry, Grandma Jack. I didn't mean it.
And yeah, you didn't. And then so the guy gets back and is like, "Are we all doing good? We good?" Because I think we hadn't gotten our food yet, or he was coming up to give us like salads, because like
Oh, yeah,
my
yeah.
grandma and this other lady got salads.
Ugh.
So he gives them salads, right? And the
Salad.
orientation of this table is me and my grandpa are both sitting up against the railing, right? And then my dad's on my left, my grandma's a little farther on my right, and the 2 people are both ahead of us. So he gives it to the lady who's across table from me, and then my grandma who's all the way on the right. And then he walks over to where my grandpa would be sitting, and then peeks his head over the railing, and then turns and walks away. As if he thought that my grandpa, who was not there, had gone behind the railing. And he was in the water. Which was so fucking funny. We were all like, did he do that?
Did he just do that?
She didn't say a fucking word about it. He just left. Also, Micah does not hear very well in his right ear because he plays guitar.
Oh.
Which is really funny. Because he's just like he hit a point where someone said something like, "Yeah, it's getting dark." He's like, "Yeah, because it gets dark real late." Or no, wasn't was that? It was like, and that's the noise he made. And then he stopped making sound and walked away. And it was like, what the fuck is going on? It was crazy. It's
Just absolutely laying into this socially awkward dude.
no. He didn't do anything that was really negatively, or no. Then he didn't do anything really negative, but he was a little stupid. Where the person, or like one of my grandma's cousins, was like, "This fucking potato looks like shit, my guy," and then he went over and went, "Looks fine to me," which is just so funny. In fairness, it also looked fine to me, but him going, "Looks fine," is really funny.
I think I've done that to someone before.
Yeah, but well, they're also old.
I mean, yeah, there is a bit of a difference, but I think I've walked up to someone and they're like, "Well, this doesn't look very good," and I'm like, "I don't know, man. Looks good to me."
Yeah, no, it's different because you're in a nursing home.
Yeah.
But it's
Bro, just gonna drop my .gov like that.
he works at nursing home. But so this dude just being so fucking awkward the whole night,
That's pretty funny.
and it's really funny. And then him at the end, right? So we have split checks. We give him the shit. They've got the little clip down things, right? And I've actually read until this moment. He walks up with two things in his hand, looks at him, looks a little closer at him, and then turns and leaves without interacting with anybody because he grabbed the wrong checks. He didn't have the right ones, which is just really funny.
Yeah.
And he
that's
also wasn't like
fantastic.
cool enough to give everybody like their food. Like he had to give someone else grab their food who was
Oh,
actually
yeah.
from Wisconsin. We talked very briefly about the Packers.
crazy.
This girl walked up and was like, "You're from Wisconsin?" And I was like, "Nope, not from there. Just like the Packers." She was like, "Oh, cool." Thought had a little interaction. Then me and my dad were like, "Hopefully she stays," and then she didn't. But
Fantastic.
it was really funny. Toilet. But so
Dude, this guy, I feel this guy.
Mike is getting torn up. No, here's the thing. Mike is getting torn, but he's also like a 35-year-old man.
That's true. There is a different when it's
That's
me. I'm a
That's
19-year-old.
the thing is that's what I didn't say. He's a fully grown adult.
Yeah, there is a bit of a difference because I haven't really like
Micah
lived
lived
yet.
with his parents until he was 27, and then got kicked out, and then lived with friends for a few years. Like he was like probably a 30-year-old man living with his friends who all had like kids, because he needed somewhere to live until he finally got enough money to sit and live on his own.
That
At
could
the
have
age
been
of
me.
33.
That could have been me.
Could still be you.
What? Oh God.
Yeah, Micah sucked, and it was really funny, which is kind of what most of my trip was. Is that it sucked, but it was really funny. And then we get back.
Fantastic.
So we get back, right? We get to my grandparents' house. We finally get there. We throw all our shit around, right?
Yeah.
And then I look over, and on my grandparents' desk, they've got or on this island, he's schlucking. They've got hemp gummies, right?
Cool.
Because my grandparents do gummies occasionally, allegedly. What are you doing?
I was looking at the time.
Cool.
I really struggled to find where it
Yeah,
was.
you did.
I don't know why.
But so, occasionally, allegedly, they do gummies. I heard a story from my grandpa, who he was like, so we sitting there, they're on this couch, right? They've got them. He's like, I think he's like the only one who did gummies. And then they were like, "You feeling anything?" He's like, "Nah." Like an hour, 2 hours in, and they all look away, right? And they say something, and within like 5 seconds, they look back, and he is face down on the floor. He's just laying on the floor, and then they're like, "Mike," which is his name. "What are you doing?"
Thanks for clarifying
Yeah.
that was his name.
And then he's like, "I thought it'd be funny." And then he, for the next 3 hours, was like, "I think I have COVID." And they were like, "You're fine. You're high." And he was like-
Allegedly.
and he was like, "No, I have COVID." Judy, this is his wife, "You have to go get me a COVID test." Like, and she was like, "Fine, okay." She goes, gets him a COVID test, comes back, it's negative. He doesn't have COVID. And he's like,
Crazy.
"The test is wrong," which is so funny.
That's wild, dude.
But so I roll up, I see this, and I go, hemp gummies. And he was like, it's for my tinnitus. Or he's like, it's for your grandmother's tinnitus. And I was like, okay. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. Because bullshit. Bullshit, you have hemp gummies just sitting on the counter. That, like,
Hey, allegedly.
And it was really
Are they
funny.
legal in Florida?
No shot.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
because I did it in Florida. And then
Allegedly.
and then hit it. Not this most recent time or any other time ever. I don't do drugs.
I hope your parents watch this episode.
But also, so me and my dad, we watched like a wrestling review.
Mm-hmm.
On this like weird third party site that my grandpa uses, and the titles of the pay-per-views are just wrong. Like, we watched one and we were like, this is just the wrong thing. This is just not the pay-per-view that it says it is.
That's wonderful.
Which is really funny.
Yeah, great.
And then so I go to sleep, or I lay down and go to sleep for like 3 hours. It's fucking hot because it's an old person house.
Uh-huh.
And LeBron James drops 56 points and 10 rebounds in a game, in a huge win against the Warriors, which is another just funny thing because I'm rambling. After that game, after LeBron does 56 and 10, which is the most anyone's dropped this year, all of the Warriors' best players are resting in the next game.
Nice.
Which is really funny because it's like, hey, yo, LeBron did this shit, right?
Yeah.
He tired them out.
Nutty.
And then there's a clip from the next game where there's this little, I think it's a girl, might just be a little boy with long hair, who had like a poster, or had like a sign that was like, "Go Warriors, Steph Curry MVP," and he wasn't at the game, and the kid's just crying.
Oh.
And it's like, LeBron did this. LeBron did this to this child, which is really funny.
I hope LeBron meets with that child and then just punches them in
And
the
then
face.
kills them. Okay, but so that happens, right? And then the next day, we get up early in the morning, we go driving,
Vroom, vroom.
in my grandma's convertible, and we decide we're gonna go with a top down. Mistake. I don't know if you can see it. I'm pretty sunburnt because
That's why. That's
why I'm
from.
sunburnt.
That makes sense. I noticed
because the sun was just coming down.
that. As
The
it
left
does.
side of my face, mostly fine. Right side of my face is not, because the sun was coming down the whole day. And so we got about 2.5 hours to Orlando, and a couple hours, or about an hour-ish out of Orlando, make a quick stop, and meet Cruisan Fry.
Oh God.
I walk in, I met him. He was really awkward. He did not know what to do.
Wow, surprising.
Yeah, I remember I was talking to my dad, and he was like, "You worried you're gonna just be real awkward?" And I was like, "Dad, you don't know this guy.
You don't
If
know who we're
anyone's
dealing
going
with.
to make this a terrible interaction, it's not gonna be me."
Won't be him, and it wasn't.
It wasn't, because I was just interacting. I was like, "Hey," and
Hey,
he was
how's
like,
it going,
and he was
man?
like, "Hey," and I was like, "Hey." I was like,
Hey, hi.
I talked. Like, I
Hi.
had a very brief interaction, but I talked to his dad for a little bit. Most of them sucked. They have very good dogs.
Sick.
They got bigger dogs who were just chilling, rolled up, and I was like, "Hello," and they were like, "Hi."
I know a couple people who don't have good dogs. Fucking vile little demons.
But so we meet
A
him,
little foreshadowing.
right? And then this is the same day that our pay-per-view is. So we go, but we have a hotel. We get to this hotel. It's shit. Terrible hotel. We knew this. It's fine.
Yeah, that happens.
We go in. There's one lady at the counter.
Uh-huh.
She's like maybe 23.
Mhm.
She's foreign from she's like European or something. She's the only person there. She's answering phones, talking to people at the desk. She's
That's rough.
clearly overworked. Not like incredibly overworked, but she's overworked.
Well, you can tell it was like a little stress, a little pressure.
A little stressed. Because like
Little
she's talking to
stressor.
my dad and she takes a phone call in the middle of the conversation.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I have to be like, "See, you stop for a second. I'm so sorry." So then we get into this room, right? It's shit. Terrible room. Air conditioner is just the whole time.
Yep, no
There's
surprise
a
there.
constant like 3 going.
Ooh.
And we're like, okay. We look over the TV. Like that big.
Awesome.
It's a small TV. The TV we have up here is significantly bigger. You can't see it. He can. It's
Yeah.
Whatever. And we go, that's crazy. And then we turn over, and I go to lock the door. You know the bolt lock?
Uh-huh.
That's just like
yeah.
that you're not getting into this room?
Yeah.
Not there.
Dope.
Like, the spot for it on the wall is there, but the actual, like, lock itself
Oh, that's funny.
is gone.
That's funny.
And by gone, I mean there's part of it still there, but it's broken in half.
That's cool.
As if someone fucking kicked in the door.
That's
and
pretty rad.
Destroyed it.
That's
right?
pretty radical.
So we lay down because we want to rest before our pay-per-view. My dad goes to the bathroom. We learn that in the toilet, before you flush it, there is no liquid in this toilet.
That's crazy.
You know how on the wall you've got the toilet paper roll guy? One of the things that hold it up, on the floor. Torn out of the wall. The door scrapes up against the toilet when you open the bathroom door. There is no hand soap. There just isn't any. The place where the TV, refrigerator, and coffee maker are plugged in at, they don't have any extension cords. It's just 2 outlets for 3 things. So my dad went to make coffee and had to unplug one of them. Right? So we're like, whatever. This is really funny. But whatever, we're just going to lay down. And I remember how the door didn't have that lock?
Uh-huh.
So cleaning ladies just walk in. So they walk in, right? They peek and go, oh! And they shut the door. And then we're sitting there like, what? And then they just... they knock after just walking in, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I go, hi, you guys, yeah? And then they were like, towels? And I was like, want towels? Sure. Cool. And we take the towels.
That's fucking funny.
We were like, what the fuck is going on?
That's so funny.
At this point, we were like, bro, what the fuck has been happening so far? It was crazy. Also, I want to the airport that we flew into. So you know how the airport in our city, they have, like, you've been that, you've flown out of that right before, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you know, they have, like, it's a fairly expensive airport. Like, you have, like, the tubes that go right into the airplanes. It's a huge airport. This airport has 5 gates total.
Okay.
And there are no tubes. You go from the airplane onto stairs, onto the runway.
Oh, you go onto the tarmac?
Onto the tarmac. Which is crazy.
That doesn't seem like
crazy.
that doesn't seem like a normal airport thing. That seems like something that happens just like in emergencies, right?
Yeah, but it's
apparently not.
I know this because I've flown in and out of that airport 4 times.
Damn.
So it's not. It's just that airport's shite.
Yeah, I get just small airport.
But
small timers.
We get to the show. Getting a good show. At the beginning we get fucking rolled because it was like, we have a special guest. They play the music of the former world champion who has not been seen since the week after he lost it, which is like 4 months ago. So everybody's like, oh my god, oh my god! Not him.
Why would they do that?
Because it was, I mean, he's a heel. The guy who came out is a dickhead.
Ah.
So
that seems like one of those things, though, that you would, like, someone at the top would go, like, this is gonna fucking, people are gonna get mad at this is gonna fuck up our ratings.
No.
You would think.
No, it was like, everyone was like, yeah, we're a little annoyed, but, like, annoyed at the guy.
Okay,
it's just kind of how wrestling kind of works.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a difference.
I guess they're in on it, yeah.
We're all in on it.
Yeah.
He shows up and we're like, I wanted to see Kenny Omega.
Look at this fucking guy.
But Don Callis is good at being a dickhead. Right?
Yeah.
And so we sit down. We're chilling for a little bit. We're watching this pre-show, which is just a couple matches before the main card.
Yeah.
And then I guess the next person goes, hey, boys, how we doing? And I went, fuck. God damn it. As this guy is just, he's one of them.
Yep.
One of them boys.
Uh-huh.
And he's being mildly annoying throughout the show, right? Not like super terrible. Not as bad as I expected him to be for a while. Just kind of being like, just trying to be the anti-crowd guy who's like cheering for people the rest of the crowd isn't cheering for.
Ooh.
But also like loudly, you know?
Yeah.
Like I had a match where I wanted a guy that everyone else there hated to win, but didn't cheer for it. I didn't go, let's go MJF!
Yeah,
Let's go!
Yeah, because in a setting like that, you gotta go with the crowd.
Gotta go with the crowd.
That's like the
It
environment.
was
That's what you
MJF
do.
versus CM Punk, and everyone wanted CM Punk to win.
Yeah.
I wanted MJF to win, but like I'm gonna cheer for CM Punk.
Yeah,
because it's CM Punk.
Because that's just how it goes.
That's how it goes.
That's like basic etiquette.
He wasn't doing that.
Like even
And then-
I, who knows
and
fuck
then-
all about wrestling,
And
understands
I'm
that.
gonna give you one guess
Oh boy.
as to at what point in the night he got insufferable. You have one guess. It's very simple, so don't think too hard about it.
Was it just when the main card started?
Nope. It is when the women came out to wrestle.
Ah.
And then he's just going, pop one out for the boys.
Oh my god.
Pop one out. Come on, Ty.
Happy International Women's Day, by the
Pop
way.
one out for the boys. And I was like,
Happy-
oh
happy-
my God.
Happy International Women's Day.
And then
one day
another
ago.
one comes out, he's in there going, woo! And I was like, I'm not kidding. What I am saying, he did. And I was like, fucking Christ, bro.
That's so funny. Oh my god.
Oh, woo! Oh, God damn. And then what's really unfortunate for this specific situation is the match starts, and I am not kidding. One of the girls just grabs the other one and just kisses her for like 5 seconds. Like, in wrestling they do a lot of like squaring up. You know?
Yeah.
And then she just, it was crazy. It was really funny. She smooched her. And then they smooched again in the middle of the match. I don't remember because the other girl was like, yeah, I'm going to win. She didn't. She lost. We all knew she was going to lose.
That's crazy.
But, nah, dude.
Dude, that guy probably came on the spot.
He came on the spot. And then that was the lower card women's match. The later women's match on the card. So, like, the women's world title. At one point, he goes, yeah, the flab of meat belt. He says that. He calls them flabs of meat. And my dad goes, too far. Too far. Him and his friend who's being very nice, because the guy who was saying shit was very clearly drunk.
Yeah.
He would get up every match, come back with a beer.
Ooh, yeah.
His friend did not get up. Whenever he would get up, his friend would look at us and go, that was a good-ass match, right? He's cool.
Yeah.
So the other friend was just like talking about the wrestling we were watching,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah. The chill guy with the drunk dickhead seems like a
Chill guy with drunk dickhead.
normal, little standard combo, you know.
It would happen. It happens.
Yeah.
But so my dad says that. Neither of them say a fucking word for the rest of the night. That's it from them. They get up and go, "Hey, nice talking to you guys." At the end of the show, and that's fucking it.
That's so funny. Even the slightest bit of pushback, and they're just like,
And they don't say a goddamn word.
should have said something sooner, man. God damn.
Which was fucking hilarious.
That's so funny. Oh my
I also
god,
just-
that's great.
I think that was really funny that happened in the match, or in
That's
one of the matches, was that one of the guys, right, goes over and he goes, grab me a fucking mic, and then takes a mic. So they're not supposed to say fuck, you know.
Yeah.
So the commentators, this guy is huge dickhead,
Uh-huh.
very very good. He's the guy I talk about.
Yeah.
Very very good at being a dickhead.
Yeah.
And there's a commentator who part of his just commentating is just that he fucking hates that guy. He's just like, this scum, this stupid shithead.
This little degenerate fuck.
Right?
Wait, can't say that.
But so one of the commentators goes, we apologize for MJF's language. And then the guy who hates him goes, we apologize for MJF being alive. Which is so funny. It's so fucking funny.
We could have stopped him at any point.
It's crazy.
We could have just put a gun to his head and ended him.
And ended that shit, but nah. And then
That's on us, so we apologize.
We apologize. And another thing that happened on the show, which was really cool for us, but is really funny from like a perspective of you don't watch wrestling. These guys had a match, right? And it was kind of like a respect thing that they were gonna have a match, and then it was like because one guy wanted to team up, and the other guy was like, we can only team up if we beat the shit out of each other first.
Sure.
Which is like
Sure,
cool.
whatever. Yeah, fair.
They fight, And then one of the guy wins on like a roll up kind of thing. Essentially like a little bit of a fluky win.
Yeah, a little fruit roll up.
Yeah, like yeah, sure. But like a little bit of a fluky win. Like you won the match, and you would get credit for winning the match, but you won like a bit of a roll up, a little bit of a fluke.
Bit fruity.
Other guy gets up and he's like, "What the fuck?" And they start fucking bow.
Oh shit.
Post match.
Oh
They
shit.
just want to fight, right? A bunch of people come out of the ring trying to stop him, and they're like, "No, bow."
Oh
bow.
shit.
And then this guy rolls down, who's like big respect guy, or not,
Yeah. Yeah.
he like his debut in the company, by the way. Who like everyone's like, this is the motherfucking man.
Yeah.
We all listen to him because he's a fucking genius about wrestling. So he rolls up, separates these two guys. One guy's like, no, I'm trying to beat the shit out of him. I'm trying to fight him. And he just fucking, gow!
Oh my god.
Smacks the shit out of him.
That's pretty sick.
And then the guy's like, all right. And kind of backs up because he's like, William Regal did slap me. I should listen. And the other guy's like, you fucking got him. My right guy turns around, bow! Smack shot at him. And he's like, God damn it. And he's like, shake hands right now. Shake them. And they're like, fine. And they do it. Which is it's really funny. It was sick to watch and really funny. There's also a guy who there's a ladder match, right? The idea is that there's climb up a ladder and take up a thing.
I know what a ladder match is.
So there's a guy climbing up on the ladder. And then this dude named Danhausen comes out from under the ring. He's been hiding under the ring the whole show. Comes out from under the ring. Gets up there. Looks at him. He's like full cover in face paint. He's a tiny boy. You could be Danhausen. You could roll up and just be Danhausen.
Okay.
Right? He has face paint on, in like white with like black outlines and shit and some stuff. He's like a comedy guy.
Okay.
But comedy guy, but everybody loves him. He just rolls up. This guy who's like about to win this match and just goes. And what that means is that guy is cursed. And everybody in the crowd's going, oh shit! Oh my god! Like it's a stupid joke that everybody in the arena's in on.
Yeah.
And then the guy who curses him just leaves. Danhausen just gets up and goes.
It's just that's fucking
and then the guy
funny.
on the ladder's like, what? And then a big dude just comes up and then just fucking power bombs him into a suspended ladder. And like his head gets like caught in the rungs. Oh. And it's rough. And the guy doesn't move for a while.
That sounds like that could like cause some serious that's
right?
like a real thing.
A real thing. He's fine. Reports, he's fine.
That's scary,
but like
though.
we looked at him, we were like,
is he good?
He is good. We were like, is he fine?
Yeah.
And but it was crazy. And it was just really funny. I love Danhausen. He just rolls up and goes,
Alakazam.
And then that guy loses the match every single time. He's cursed like 8 people. They've all lost.
That's really funny.
His debut, a guy pulled a chair out from under the ring, and he was on the chair.
I remember that, yeah.
And then he just looks up and goes, and that guy's like, what the fuck? And then he just is doing this and just walks away. And that's it.
That's funny.
And everybody in the crowd's like, it's fucking Danhausen! Oh! And it was sick. And the guy lost the match.
That's
also
wild.
A guy came out in Halo gear. He had
That's
he had the Master Chief, not like the whole thing, but like shoulder pads and shit on.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate some gaming references in my wrestling.
He fucking loves games.
Shout out to
streams on Twitch all the time.
Was it the same guy who came out of Sans?
No, different guy. Kenny Omega came out of Sans. The guy who we thought was gonna come out. No.
Oh, he was Sans.
That's
fucking crazy that happened. By the way, the Sans thing
came out of Sans for no reason.
That's
like
fucking
nothing
absurd.
Special was happening. Just an episode of the TV show came out of Sans.
Like, that's fucking crazy that Undertale is such a massive part of like pop culture now that's just a thing that like appears on wrestling.
Yeah. Well, the thing
shout out to when they played Megalovania in front of the Pope. You remember that?
No, I don't. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'll have to show you that after this because it's
Sick.
fucking. That's a real thing.
I
There's like a full like orchestra that played Megalovania for the Pope.
That's great. I remember a couple years ago I was in a band thing. We were like kind of showcasing, like our school's music stuff
Mhm.
to all of like the younger kids, right?
Yeah.
'Cause we're at this point we're like juniors and we're showcasing to like the 3rd, 4th, 5th graders to be like,
Yeah.
we got cool shit here. And then we're just kind of waiting, right? Waiting for these kids to file in. And then my friend goes, "Can I just play some shit? You mind?" And he was like, "Is it you trying to pull anything?" Which he's not, because he's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
He's like, "No." Gets up, trombone. And then we all went, "Oh shit!" Because we're band kids. And in this crowd of like 500 to 600 kids,
Oh my god,
he's just fucking going.
that's awesome.
And then kids like join in.
That's that's so cool.
We look at the teacher and go, he's like, "Go for it." And we're just popping off and
That's,
shit.
dude. That sounds
I
like such a cool moment.
Have absolutely no idea to play any of this shit. So I'm just sitting there going, "Let's go, my boy. That's my guy." And
Just
they're,
hyping him up.
they're
yeah.
just popping off. It's
Hey,
crazy.
listen, nothing wrong with a little hype, man. Dude, that sounds
Listen,
fucking awesome to
it
be a
was
part of.
sick.
That's so cool.
Of all of the things where we're just being fucking nerds, right? Because
Yeah.
like
Because you're band kids.
we're band kids, we're nerds, as well as people who like wrestling. They're all nerds. It's one of the things I love about wrestling is that like they didn't used to be. They used to just be fucking beefcake dudes who just could show up and
Yeah.
go home and they work out. They're just nerds now. They just fucking
'Cause
love
it's
games and shit.
like nerd shit.
Yeah, it's just nerd shit. Again, the guy who showed up in the Halo gear was in the main event.
Yeah.
Just
That's wild.
because he felt like it. He just wanted to.
Just repping Halo, you know?
Just repping Halo.
It's really cool that gaming has gotten to that point where it's
Yeah.
like, it is the thing. That's
Yeah.
cool.
It's huge. But so, and then he came. I think I came out as a cowboy. He's always a cowboy.
Cool.
Hangman Adam Page comes out in Spurs.
Very cool.
It was a very good match. But
That's sick.
yeah, no, dude. I don't know how to play any of this shit, and man, I'm just hyping people up. Because I don't know how to play shit. All I do is roll up and go, "You're fucking cool." Because
Look at my boy go.
Because we're nerds. But no, it was sick.
That's
Everyone else in the
awesome.
school was like, "Y'all fucking suck," but they weren't there. Just us going, "God damn!" As these kids who are really good at what they do, just rolling up and being really good at what they do.
Yeah, that's
It was great.
That's great.
And after the show, we went home. It was late. Went to sleep. Woke up. We had like various gift cards from shitty Christmas presents and went to Bob Evans and Applebee's. When
Dude.
we were at Applebee's, we're driving, or we're not driving. We're sitting there in the eating, and then my dad goes, "Oh," and I was like, "What happened?" He's like, "Oh, this fucking guy who was driving, fucking just a bunch of shit just came out of the back of his car." Like we look
Ooh.
on the road, and we were like, "Ah,
Ooh.
should we help him?" I'm not gonna do it. You could. You do it. I'll come. No. And then we just sat there. We also tipped with a gift card, which I don't know if you can do, but we walked away and did not go back. So, if there is a lady in Cape Coral who's a server at an Applebee's who just so happens to be watching this, I'm very sorry if that didn't work out. But if it did,
That woman was either extremely happy, she was like, "I fucking love this place," or she was just like,
I mean, we had like $25 worth of food, and we get like a $16 gift card. So,
not
because you
bad.
also might be able to give them the money via the tip, via the gift card. I mean,
"Yeah." So that $16 worth of value is pretty good for a kid.
but yeah, so we walked away,
We're out of here.
and then yeah, I mean nothing else really happened. We went on the plane. So I don't know a lot about planes, but I also have anxiety, because I also didn't think about it until I got on the plane because I get a little anxious. I'm not like super anxious. Like I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I'm not adverse to planes. But I get on a plane and I'm like,
You get a little
and then
nervous. You're
what
like,
if this is the time that?
Yeah.
What if this is the next like flight 727 or whatever?
Malaysia 317, something like that.
It is not Malaysia flight 317. I want you to think about why that wouldn't be that flight for 2 seconds, and why you would have found that number otherwise. Fucking idiot, you stupid ass. That's really funny. But we're sitting there, going up the staircase on the runway, and then I look under the plane, and it's just dripping. Like, there's liquid. There's like a pool. And I'm like...
Dude, that fit was so fresh.
And I was like, is that the gas?
Plane so fly, got the drip.
Is that the gas dripping out of the airplane? I didn't know.
You get a match and throw it down there to test it out.
And then we started going, right? And we started going, like, you know, we're like driving.
Yeah.
And then we speeding up a little bit.
Yep.
And we just slow down. And then slow to a stop. And then turn. And then fly off like 10 minutes later. And I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Probably refueling.
Did they run out of gas?
Probably refueling.
I didn't know that. It might not have been gas. It might have just been liquid dripping from it because they were like there was like rain or something.
Yeah, regardless, a drip from a plane is bad.
Yeah, I mean, he's also it might not be bad. That might be very, very normal.
Yeah.
But from an outside perspective, I was horrified.
Yeah, you're just like, oh god.
And then
what do we do?
Yeah, that was on my trip, and then I came back and had a bad day at work.
Insane.
That's what I do.
He goes to work and he hates every second. Comes home and he beats his wife. He doesn't do that. That's slander. I'm slandering him. I'm actively slandering him on this podcast.
You know what? I'm gonna check how long we're recording.
Okay, it's probably been like 40, 50 minutes at this point.
You preface your thing because you want to talk a little bit because I assume you would like to.
Yeah, right? I'll talk a little bit about my stuff. Cool. There's not too many stories that I actually want to tell, but there was cool shit that I did at like, how long have we been going?
We are over an hour.
Over an hour. OBS is a better like idea of how long we've actually been doing the pod, so I'm gonna check that. And we've been going for over an hour.
That's crazy. It's almost like we started at very similar bits.
That's true.
So,
okay, well, I won't take long with my stuff because there's not a whole lot to talk about.
Just keep talking. I'm vibing.
I am vibing, but I don't want to go for too much over an hour.
No worries.
So the cool thing that happened, and then we'll talk about other shit after that. I got dog stories, but cool shit. So I've talked a little bit about the fact that I do karate.
He does
karate used to be a very big thing in my life. After like COVID and stuff, it kind of like I kind of fell out of it. I kind of stopped going because everything kind of shut down. But I used to compete. I would go to like local tournaments and stuff, and I would like compete with other people, do like sparring matches and stuff. And I was pretty decent. I was pretty well known in the scene. Everyone kind of was like aware of who I was and were like kind of like helping me out and stuff. You know, I had a bunch of like the older guys and like
from an outside perspective, just to give you the fair amount of context from not the person talking. There's always like a little bit of like you never really know.
Yeah.
If you look up his name, he comes up.
Yeah.
And it is, I think, nothing to do with his YouTube channel.
Yeah, that is why I will not share my last name, because you can find me and you can find like my family and stuff through that.
Yep.
Which is why I don't share that, because I don't want that to be out there. So that's why you'll never know my last name.
I'm just gonna let you know I made a bet.
You winning money?
I made a 6-leg parlay. So like this shit feels free as fuck. And we are 3 games have finished. I picked them all right. There's 2 games currently happening. One team is up by 30. Other team's up by 16. And there's one game hasn't started yet.
Sick.
Looking pretty good.
W.
Money time. Hopefully. Like
yeah.
60, 70 bucks. Not bad.
Yeah, so anyway though, getting back to story.
Sorry, I apologize.
I used to compete a lot, was pretty well known in the scene. COVID happened, everything got shut down. So I hadn't competed for 2 years, or however long. Basically how long this shit's been going on. I was completely out of it. I wasn't like practicing or anything. And this past weekend, there was a tournament. They've had some before. I went to one of them at one point, but I didn't compete or anything. I just was like there to help out, to like judge and stuff. But this tournament, I was like, you know what? I made an impulse decision. I'm like, I'm going to compete in this tournament. I'm out of practice, but just throw myself back in, right? So I get there, I'm in the tournament. First event is kata, which is The easiest way that I can explain it is think of like, I guess almost like a dance routine, like a set, like you're doing this thing, but it's like karate techniques. It's just like set stuff. It's like a pattern that you do basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. I felt pretty good about it. I kind of surprised myself. I found like a visceral energy within myself that I did not know that I had.
Motherfucker got mad. He sat there and was like, I was racing on that Minecraft realm about 2 years ago. And that Tark motherfucker got my own way, so I'm gonna
Just fucking imagine he was there.
imagine this motherfucker. I'm beating the shit out of his.
I
Tark.
imagined I was kicking him out of the realm.
Oh, also, I have it in my head. Do you know the song Miseria Canter?
No, not off the top of my head.
Okay. No worries then. It's a
Cool.
song by AFI and
I don't know who that is.
Miss Murder.
Don't know what that is.
You do.
I do, but I don't. It's
Yeah.
it's one of those
Yeah,
things. I'm
well,
sure.
you do, but you don't.
Yeah, but anyway, Kata.
Sorry.
Yeah, Kata. I didn't win in, but there was a group of like 15 people there. I got, I think, 7th overall, which, all things considered, I was pretty happy with. I was like, damn, I'm in the top half of the group, and I haven't done this shit for like a super long time. So I was like, fucking cool. All right. And then after that, the way they have the events, they run all the like black belts first. They do all, because then they run the black belt groups, and then they judge for the rest of the day. But then they don't do some of the black belt groups until the very end. It's a little bit weird how they do it, but so for a lot of the day, I was just sitting around judging, helping out. And that sucked a little bit. My feet fucking hurt. But then everything finishes up, and it's just the black belt groups now. And it's like, okay, it's time for Shambara, which is effectively, it's like kind of like a sportified, like sword fighting-esque thing. You get what are supposed to be like katana type things, but they're just like foam sticks basically. And the whole point of the event is just like who can like make contact with the other person first. Anywhere you hit, because it's supposed to be like a sword, you cut them anywhere, you get a point.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to be really good at this event. It had been a while. I get out there, my first match, I think I win it like 5-1 or something.
Huge.
I fucking smack the guy. I'm just like, I get out of there, I'm just like,
Annihilation.
I'm just
Annihilation.
I'm just like, dude, I still got it. And then next fight, I end up fighting who ended up winning the whole thing, right? This is someone who's like really well known for being good at Shambara. Or he's like the best in the group. He like smacks people. I get out there, the announcer's like is like playing it up. He's like about to watch David versus Goliath. I'm like, that's cool. That's hype.
You were David?
I was David, yeah.
So they were like, this shit about to get smacked, huh? And then you rolled up and went, bow, bow, bow.
Yeah, so we're out there, and fucking, I lose the match. I don't win. However...
No, I thought this was going to be like, yeah, then you won. And I was like, oh, but never mind,
No.
you suck and I hate you.
Yeah, well, I didn't win. However, the fight ended 4-5, which was, it was super close, and everyone was just like, God damn.
Maybe
Kid's
this
kinda-
kid ain't washed.
He's God damn. And then I get out there, next fight for 3rd and 4th, I smack the guy like 5-2.
I had never considered the fact that there would be commentators.
Well, there's not commentators, but there's like a center judge.
Is he like...
He like stops the match when someone gets a point and like calls the stuff, and then like depending on who you get, especially for the black belts, some of them like to like play stuff up a little bit and like add a little bit.
Does he do... Is he one of them?
Yeah, he was one of them. He's like one of the guys who runs the whole like
No,
the tournament
I'm
itself.
saying, is he a guy who's playing it up? Because if he was like David versus... Bro, does he go, and then in goes Sky.
No, he doesn't do that.
They stab him through the suit.
He's fucking killed him.
Oh my god! Goliath is dead!
Holy shit.
He's been slain!
The police are on their way to arrest this kid for fucking murder.
He's just stabbing him so many times.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so that went really well.
And going, I hate you, Dad. I hate you. I hate you. No, it's funny jokes.
Yeah. What I've realized is, without actually, like, being able to just see the matches or have the full context, it's kind of hard to actually
Yeah, I have absolutely no fucking idea what's going on
Yeah.
with your
So
shit.
I'll just brief through the last thing. So the last thing is sparring. It's just point fighting. You got like pads on and stuff. It's all just like whoever gets a clean technique in first, whoever gets like the hit, they get the point.
Just punch him in the gut. Just kick him in the dick. Well, bam.
You can do that. That gives you a point if you get them.
You kick him in the dick?
Yeah.
Does everyone have cups on?
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, you're supposed to have
Remove
cups
his cup and then kick him in the dick.
I have seen situations where people have forgotten their cups and then gotten kicked and fucking died, and it's really funny every time.
Bro, that happened in the NBA Finals in 2016, where a guy jumped up, or it might have been the NBA Finals, it might have been the conference finals, where a guy just jumped up and he went like and then his leg just went and kicked the guy in the dick.
God.
And then he has to suspended.
That's funny.
Which makes sense. You just can't kick a guy.
Dude, it's really funny too when it happens at the tournaments because like that's allowed, and if you forget your cup, that's on you. So I've seen people like get mad about it and be like, "Well, it's not fair," and the judges just like get fucked.
Point to Gryffindor. I'm trying to think. That happened. It's like some sports thing where a guy got hit in the dick and just went, Yeah, that's feels like a guy gets like mic'd up. It's like a collision, and then he's just on the ground, holding, just going, His friend's like, "Do you hit in the dick?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, man," he's just screaming. It's really funny.
Yeah. Okay. So with
Sorry.
the actual, you're fine. You're fine. With the actual, there's not too much cool shit I can say about this. It was just in the sparring group, they separated it to lightweight and heavyweight. I'm obviously in the heavyweight, so fucking rocked him. No, I was in the
Big ass.
lightweight. Group was
But-
really small.
Listen, he was in the heavyweight, but he thought, "Hey, we'll make the lightweight a little bit interesting." So they tossed the heavyweight into the lightweight.
Yeah,
division.
yeah,
So we
So
could beat the holy shit. out of
lightweight
some
group
tiny
was
ass
a little
fuckers.
bit smaller, but I got first place. I fucking won. I beat out all my fights.
Let's go.
I got first place. And also, the coolest shit happened during the sparring. I went out there for the last match for first and second, and the center judge was just like, "Hey, before the match starts, who's excited to see Skylar back in things?" And I got fucking like applause from everyone. That was fucking
That's
sick.
such a W.
That was really cool.
That's
and,
really cool.
And then I went on and won the fight and got first.
That's so hype.
That was an awesome moment. And then he also, after that, he was like, 'cause the other guy who I was fighting was also someone who had been out of it for a while and was like coming back. So after the fight, he had to be like, "Hey, also this guy who he fought, who I don't remember the name of, he's not someone I'm super familiar with, but he was just like, 'Hey, is everyone happy to see him back too?'" And it was like had to do it after the fight because he was like didn't want to forget the guy, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, no, that's sick though.
That was hype. Where just like getting that applause from everyone, that recognition, I was just like, it gives a little perspective on like I knew people know me and people like have some respect for me there and stuff, but it was cool to have that where it was like he's back, everyone excited and fucking applause for it. That was really cool.
That's cool.
And then there was also one other thing. So there was a championship fight between the heavyweight winner and the lightweight winner. I lost the fight, which, whatever. But I gave the heavyweight champion a bloody nose, which I was pretty happy about. I was like, that's cool. That's cool.
How close was it?
It was like 2-5.
Did you ever stand a chance in that fight? Was there a point where it was like midway through, was it like maybe as a shot? Or was it like 4-0 and then you scored 2 and he hit the 5th?
I think it was like he got like 2 points for my 1 point kind of thing.
So he got 2, you got 1, he got 4, and then you got your second, and then he got his 5th, roughly.
Roughly like that, I think. So it was like
So
it wasn't like completely one-sided, but it was like we know who's gonna win.
but it was happening, and you were like,
Yeah, like I got a couple points in, which I was happy with, and I gave him a bloody nose, which I was like, that's cool. I did that.
That's sick.
Yeah, so it was really good. I had a great time at the tournament. And then I had to go home to my parents' place and watch their fucking demon dogs.
This is true. He speaks the truth.
Yeah, we've been running for like a while now, so I'll just save the one story that I was the worst thing that happened over the weekend. Or the worst thing that happened with the dogs, at least. Because
like-
the worst thing that
I was
happened,
like-
I will not be talking
I was
about.
like, are you doing
No.
Cool.
But the fucking nightmare scenario.
Nightmare.
So I had just taken one of the dogs out, and they came back in, and he still wanted to go out. He still like had to do something. So I was just like, whatever, man. I'll get you in a second.
Dog had his stuff he got to do. You know, it happened.
Yeah. So I was like, whatever, man. I had just gotten in, hadn't gotten the door locked or anything. So the dog just fucking opens the front door. And I'm just like, okay. And then they just fucking both booked it out. And I'm just like, fuck, man.
Okay.
So I just have to like grab their leashes. I just run out. So I'm just fucking sprinting around the neighborhood looking for them. I'm just like, because I'm in a panic. Like, obviously, in hindsight, I should have like tried to grab some treats or something to try and like get them. But this is a situation that I haven't had to deal with particularly often, and I'm also just like in a panic. I'm just like, fucking, oh my god. So I just grabbed their leashes, nothing else, and just ran out. And I was just like going around. I was just like, fucking, where did they go? So I was just like, fuck, man. So luckily, with the apartment complex we have like a bark park in the middle. There's like an area for the dogs. Thank fucking God that's there, and the dogs know about it, because I managed to find one of them. Just like, he just kind of was like, I saw him. He just kind of ran up to me. I'm just like, oh my God, you're here. Thank fucking God.
Was it shake and steak, or was it steak and shake?
It was steak and shake, big one.
I know.
So yeah, I found. Well, yeah, I'm saying it for the audience.
For the audience.
The bigger of the two
they
dogs.
know the difference.
Yeah.
Have we told them about the dogs?
I know on my community tab I posted about steak and shake.
Yeah, well, I don't care. So, he
Okay.
has 2 dogs. His parents have 2 dogs. The first one well, they're both huskies, but one of them they named Sirius after the Harry Potter character.
Yeah, like SRI
Yeah.
US.
SIRIUS.
Yeah, I think I just
Which is just cringe.
a little bit, yeah.
It's just cringe.
Yeah.
So I was with my mom, and we were like, that's cringe. Let's think of a new name. My mom was like, Steak and Shake. And I was like, that's it. That's the one.
It's really funny.
So we call it Steak and Shake. And then they got another one, which is the exact same dog.
Yeah, just smaller.
So we're calling it Shake and Steak.
Yeah.
Its name is Bailey, right?
Yeah, her name's Bailey.
Which is like a fine name.
a normal name.
Would I name my dog Bailey? No. It's a fine name. I
Yeah,
don't care.
it's a name that my parents did not give
Who gave it?
the original owners.
No. But yeah, so we were like, what the fuck ever. We're going to call it Shake and Steak. That's really funny.
Yeah. So I find steak and shake, and I'm just like, oh my God. So I'm like trying to get him, and he just fucking is like running around. He's running circles around me. I'm like, fuck off, dog. So I have to do my best to try and like herd him into the bark park to like lock him in, and then I have to leave.
How late is this?
It wasn't late. It was like middle of the day.
Oh, okay. This is a little less funny now. In my head, I was imagining you in the pitch black, just running around going, "Shake and steak, steak and shake, where y'all go?" And then all of a sudden, out of the mist, out comes a shade of white, and then you're like, "Oh my, thank God!"
That's way funnier. I almost wish it happened that way. I don't. That would have been awful.
No, you don't.
I don't.
Dude,
I really
fucking
don't.
left arms are fucked up.
So yeah, I have to herd steak and shake into the fucking bark park. I'm just like,
Was the other one in the bark park?
no.
Other one hit by a car.
The other one is not here with us anymore. May her soul rest in peace.
R.I.P. Steak.
No, Shake. Rest in peace,
Yeah.
Shake. So I get steak and shake in the thing. I'm like, okay. So I leave. I'm looking around for a bit, and then luckily this isn't very funny, but for me it like saved my life. There was someone.
Here's the guy in the Halo gear.
Oh, that's hype.
Yeah.
Someone walked up to me. They're like, "Hey, are you looking for a husky?" I'm like, "I am." They're like, "Yeah, we got her in the front office." I'm like, "Fucking thank God." Oh my God. It's not a funny thing, but I was just like, dude, I'm saved.
Yeah, someone saved him.
I'm saved. They just like they got her and they just had her in the front office. So I just went up there, took him to the Bark Park. It was fucking cold, so I just had to stand out there and let him run around for a bit.
Yeah, I forgot that it's cold.
It was really cold, and I was just standing there in my jacket, in just this jacket, and I'm just like, I want to go home. I don't want to be here. I don't have any treats or anything. They're running amok.
We're led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived by the New York Knicks organization.
Insane.
Shout out Stephen A. Or shout in, don't care.
So yeah, it was I about fucking lost it when that happened. I was real close to just losing my mind entirely. You see this?
Yep.
I don't know if it's gonna show up on the camera.
It's not. It won't.
Yeah, it's from punching a stop sign.
You punched a stop sign?
I did punch a stop sign.
That's crazy you did that.
Yeah, well,
Idiot.
you know.
Can't control your emotions. Piece of shit. Ugly ass
Thanks, man.
motherfucker. Kill you. Alright, well, I'm good.
Yeah, that's it. Bye.
Bye.